Hi, my name is Monica Bhatia and I'm going to be talking about Ayurveda and digestive disorders today. So have you heard the saying, you are what you eat? Yeah, it's a very famous saying also in the Hindu holy book Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, you are what you eat. What does Ayurveda say? It says, yes, you are what you eat, but it also says you're what you digest. We can eat anything. We can take paper, water, food, meat, beef, plants. We can put anything in our mouth. But what your body is digesting is who you are, not what you're eating. Very simple. So if you're trying to digest a lot of information and eat at the same time, you're imbalancing yourself. So very simple, when you eat, be quiet, don't look at a TV or don't eat while watching TV or listening to Metallica or big sounds, So you have to eat in solitude with intention, very simple. And then you'll be able to digest properly. So let's go back, regress a little bit. Ayurveda is a very unique concept. It's called Agni. Agni, right? So you translate Agni as fire, but it actually really means transformative energy in the GI tract if you have to go in detail. So we have this energy in our GI tract. We have this energy that transforms. Think of it this way. What do we put in our body and how is it coming out? There's some energy that's transforming it. The energy that transforms food is called Agni, right? So all of us have a digestive fire. And this Agni is very much normal, but it's also dependent on the time of day. Agni is highest when the sun is highest. That means our power to digest heavy-duty food is high when the sun is high. So Ayurveda will always say eat your heaviest meal during lunchtime. So if you're having a small breakfast and a small lunch when your Agni is high, what happens in the evening? All that Agni it stayed in your stomach and the werewolf comes out and wants to eat everything and you're opening the cupboards, what can I eat, what can I eat? If you were to have and when I say heavy lunch, go for it. You'll be able to digest much better. Then you won't be so hungry at night. So that is one way, if you have and very important to have that lunch at the same time block every day. So, if you're having, the kids have that, they have their break at 10 o'clock and their 12 o'clock and then they have their snack at 3 and then they have their dinner at 6. They're so regulated. I don't know if you've noticed, but kids always poop at the same time every day. That is so healthy. Why are they pooping at the same time? Because they have a routine and they're regulated. And if any of you have kids and they don't go to bed on the same time, you have a monster on your head. And the next day, monsters, because their biological daily schedule, you have a body clock that gets disturbed. So what I'm saying is, body has a clock that comes on around lunchtime because the sun is at the highest. Of course, this will not apply maybe in Canada where it's really cold, or Chicago. Maybe the Agni will not be so high there. But in California, definitely around this time it's very, very high. So when the sun is high and you have some hunger pangs, the little symptom, I think I'm a little hungry. Your body is full of fire. It's ready to digest. Bring it to me, I'm going to eat it. You can have calories at this time. Doesn't mean you overdo the sugar or whatever, but you can have a good large meal and it will digest it. So if you have a decent breakfast and a large lunch, and the only reason we don't have a large lunch is mostly because we're working, and then you have 15 minutes. I'm rushing off and I have to get my lunch and then I have to come back. So, how you make that 15 minutes into 30 minutes, it's your own priority. Also I would suggest not eating lunch with colleagues because then you just talk and then we are not intentful of what's going. Because a lot of people, they sit and then they're talking And you haven't had time alone with your own energy, you know. You haven't had time alone. So at least find 30 minutes for your lunchtime every day around the same time. It's easier if you're in school and if you're a kid or you have kids because you're making them lunch or dinner at the same time. But if not, that schedule is very important. Agni is your digestive fire, it's your transformative fire, it's directly corresponding to the sun. If you're missing a meal and you're really, really hungry, there's such a strong fire, that fire must consume something. If you're not going to give anything, it's going to start consuming the mucosa within the stomach. You have all this, you know, you have all this saliva and mucosa, it's lining up your esophagus, it starts eating that. Dieting is the worst thing you can do to your body. Very simple. If you're not hungry, don't eat. For example, in the evening, you've had a large lunch and you're not hungry in the evening, then don't eat. But if you're hungry, then eat a little bit.
How do you make that distinction? Make it personal, but I always don't eat because I don't think I'm hungry, or my brain says, you're not hungry, go, work. And then all of a sudden comes that moment when I realize
you have to eat.
God, that
means you were hungry.
So how do you
you have to train your mind and body. Now, if you have a routine for a long time and you've trained your body not to have lunch or not to have breakfast or only have dinner, now you're not listening to your body, you're not connected to your body. The mind is not connected. So one thing is start a routine, have lunch at the same time every day, even if it's a little amount, or breakfast at the same time every day, even if it's a little amount. And eventually, you're letting the body know this is the time I'm going to give you food. Put the ignition switch on. An ignition switch is and actually another word in Western medicine would be your basal metabolic rate. Your BMR is your Agni, really. So, you know, if you starve, your BMR actually goes down. That's why they start losing weight in the beginning and then they can't lose weight. And the BMR actually slows down your metabolism. So in Ayurveda, when you do Panchakarma, you always do it under a health practitioner because Panchakarma will decrease your Agni and now you have to rekindle it again. So we are not ever telling you to starve. You're always eating. What time you're eating and what you're eating is important. According to Ayurveda, we have 3 major basic types. You have the Kapha, that's me. You have the Vata, tall, thin, usually, that's Pitta. That's Pitta. And Pitta usually have skin issues, liver, eyes are sensitive. And then you have the Vata, thin, trouble gaining weight, right? So all these bioenergies reside in an organ. So I was telling you about vibrating energies, and they have a location within the body. So Vata resides in the GI tract. Pitta resides in your liver and the lower half of your stomach. And Kapha resides in your lungs and your eyes, nose, throat. So this is the location of these bioenergies, right? So whenever, let me give you an example. Let's say 3 people come to me. 3 people come to me with headache, right? So a Pitta person walks to me and says, oh Monica, I have a headache, can you help me? I've always got migraines and headache, right? A Pitta person walks in with headache. And a Pitta person, what is the problem? Too much heat in the head, they're overthinking, they can't stop thinking. So I will give them a cooling diet. I'll ask them to eat bitter foods and cooling diet and turmeric and neem and a cooling diet. Cool. And usually I'll ask them questions about bowel movements, and bowel movements for Pitta because of the heat are loose and 2-3 times a day. So I'll give them something for that as well, right? Now a Kapha walks in. I have migraine headaches, help me, I don't want to take any drug. What will I give? Kapha migraine. Kapha migraine is usually, Kapha resides in the lungs, ears, nose, throat. Why do you think Kapha has headache? Ear, nose, throat. Why do you think Kapha gets migraine? Congestion. Because Kapha, the sinuses are Kapha. They are getting, not because of digestion issues or heat in the head, because they have all this sinus congestion. So for Kapha, I'll put them on a anti-sinus, anti-cold diet, anti-Kapha diet. So no sweets, no sour foods, no salt, lots of salads, lots of heating foods. You melt that congestion. And head massage. So 2 people, one with migraine, one pain was a pitta. I gave too much thinking. I gave coconut oil massage, maybe shirodhara, cooling foods, sandalwood, bitter foods, and said you cannot eat chili, you cannot have salsa, because I'm trying to reduce the heat. What is the protocol for kapha? Let's get rid of your sinus problem, that will get rid. Now a vata walks in. 99.9% of vata migraines are associated with constipation. 99.9. So for vata, get rid of the constipation, get rid of the migraine. As simple as that. Of course, 1% there's other chances, but it's a thumb rule. But over a long period of time, if you expose those stressors, it could be anything. Eating wrong foods, not eating at all, starving yourself, not eating on time, could be whatever stressor. Work, other people, whatever stresses you out. Usually the first symptom that you are going to get some imbalance later is your digestion. Very simple. So when a pitta person has too much heat in their body and they have imbalance, which could be any reason, it could be lifestyle, it could be relationship problems, it could be you don't like the neighbor next door, it could be you're worried about your dog. Over a long period of time, the first sign of imbalance in pitta usually, of course it doesn't apply to everyone, is high fire. High fire means the digestive enzymes and bile that is being produced, it's much more than you need. So when you have high fire, it will come out as acid reflux and acidity. So a very normal pitta, normally acidity is associated with pitta, usually. So what is the first thing I'll tell a pitta to do? Don't take sour foods. Stop taking orange juice and anything that increases acidity, right? When a vata is really stressed out, the first thing to go is their digestion. And their fire, digestive fire, becomes not just low. So if you have fire here and you blow some air on it, what happens to the fire? It's going like this. It's not balanced. It's not low, it's not high, it's somewhere. So vata becomes constipated very easily. They become dry and constipated because of the fire and the heat and the air. So they become constipated. So what will you tell the vata to eat? Drink lots of water, soups and teas and high fiber, because fiber will be in bulk. Notice I didn't have to tell pitta drink too much water, because pitta will naturally drink a lot of water because they're always hot. Vata will forget drinking water. And you have to sneak in the water in their diet through soups and teas, so they're not counting how many number of glasses they're eating. Third, when a kapha person like me, we are imbalanced, then our fire becomes low metabolic rate, low agni. So naturally we have low agni. So we can eat only this much amount of food and gain this much weight, and air, we can completely. And vata kapha can gain water weight. They can just gain. So they shouldn't drink too much water, as much as they need. If you read Dr. Ladd's books, he says, identify the healthy cravings at the healthy time and feed the healthy craving, not the unhealthy one. If you are hungry at midnight, that's not a healthy craving. Just if you can, drink some water if you have your warm milk or whatever, some beverage, warm tea, but don't eat anything, because then body will get confused. Why am I getting food at night? That's unhealthy craving. But if you're hungry breakfast time, that's healthy. Let's eat. If you're hungry at lunchtime, let's eat. If you're hungry at midnight, 10 o'clock at night, that's not a healthy craving. So you have to train your body. Water. Ayurveda is against ice cold water. Why do you think? Even for pitta, ice cold water. Shocks the system.
Because the agony.
Absolutely. Even regular room temperature water will get rid of the agni, but you pour cold water on fire, So normally, Ayurveda will say for Pitta, take room temperature water, or cool but not cold. For Vata and Kapha, you shouldn't even have cold water. You shouldn't even have ice in the fridge. No ice cream, no cold water. Very bad. Cold water will, already Vata have constipation problem, and then you put in cold water, you're further depleting your Agni.
What do you think is the health effect to Americans who love, every restaurant immediately iced water?
Americans are the most obese nation in the world.
So it leads to obesity. It puts the fire in
because it puts the fire. But I think it doesn't, not so much depends also on your preference. A lot of people when they're working out a lot, if you're working out, then of course the effect of the cold water will be somewhat. So that is important. The magic herb of Ayurveda. Every Indian has Triphala. Triphala is so wonderful that if you have high Agni, acidity, it will help you. If you're constipated, it will help you. If you just feel heavy and bloated and gassy, it will help you. So it will bring the Agni into balance. So it will bring high into balance. It will bring low Agni into balance. And it will bring no Agni. It will help ignite the switch of your digestive fire. How wonderful it is.
I love it.
You love it?
How is it able to do that? To do 3 different things?
How?
Yeah, or 2.
Because it has 5 tastes in it. So the taste of an herb has an energy or element. So you have, if you taste, in fact I'm going to ask you to take a little bit of Triphala and tell me what you taste. And we'll say what element is missing or not missing. So what did you taste?
I tasted the alum. I don't know how to describe it as a taste, but so it's
Astringent.
Dry. Astringent. I would say bitter. You know alum? You know what that
bitter
is?
But dry.
Dry.
Bitter but dry.
Bitter and dry.
So it aggravates. So your body is probably a little bit dry, and your liver needs a little bit of bitter herbs. That's what it tells you. So you do need more hydration. What do you use?
Bitter and I think that
Oh,
black.
so this means you don't need you do need Triphala, but not in very high quantities. And you might want to take some iron as well.
So you taste the thing you need.
Ideally, but people who are so used to eating incompatible foods, then your body stops telling you. And one of the reasons I've been taking all these Pitta herbs and I'm finding it way too bitter for me. I mean, it is bitter. It's a mixture of 6 different bitter herbs found in Ayurveda, like super bitter. But I'm finding them really bitter because I don't need more bitter than I'm already taking.
So what's the rule there?
The rule there is that I need more sweet herbs because I've been overdoing the bitter herbs.
You know that because
I've already been taking it. I just know it by tasting it.
Because it tastes so bitter?
It tastes more bitter than it should to me. It
Right.
tastes like, oh my god, I can't take this anymore. But yeah, it's super concentrated. But when I, of course, masked it with honey, I was able to take it. And that's what masking with masking also. What do you taste?
I tasted bitter first, and then there was like a slight acid taste of sour.
Yeah. So that's the Vata
Wow.
imbalance. The sour is... So,
Sour.
see, Triphala has Amalaki, which is very sour. Amalaki is gooseberry. So if you're not tasting the sour, that means your Vata may not be that much in imbalance. You did not taste the sour? Yeah, she did not taste the sour, meaning her Vata is not that imbalanced as it was before.
I couldn't even imagine if there was a sour taste in Triphala.
It is
It's like after taste.
1/3 of Triphala is sour.
So what does that mean to me if I can't taste sour?
That means your Pitta your body's imbalance is not Vata. So what did you taste of?
Sour and a little bit of sweet.
Sour and sweet. So Kapha and Vata. imbalance. So you probably, so if you sour and sweet is, that means your vata is imbalanced. Even though sweet is not very good for the kapha in you, but immediately your body needs some sweetness and some, and when do you need it? Even when you're in emotional turmoil, then you need sweet taste in sour. So for you, I would say some vata imbalance. Let me see what it is. When Triphala only tastes sweet and nothing else, then you're in perfect balance. You don't need to take any more of Triphala. You're in perfect balance. The only person I've known is my dad. I don't know, but he's like, he doesn't even eat. I don't know what he does. He meditates for 7 hours. I don't know. So I've really never known anyone who just tastes the sweet. But if you're tasting partially sweet, then that part of you is maybe more in balance.
Yeah, it was very sour.
Sour. My vata is not bitter at all.
No.
What is that? You know, perfect balance?
I don't need bitter. I just told you. I don't need bitter. I need sour. I need vata.
Good question. Now, if your constitution or prakriti,
Yes.
is naturally like if you're dominant vata and you have the sour and you have a vata imbalance, so that's going to affect you more so than if you're, how would that affect?
What you're tasting right now is not what your prakriti needs. You're tasting your current imbalance, which could be just, you need to take sweet or sour taste for the next 3 days. You're tasting your current imbalance, not what your natural balance state is. So by eating those things or incorporating that taste in your diet for the next few days, so when you stop tasting the sour and the sweet and you taste more bitter, then you're in balance. Because kapha should actually, I have the same thing, I didn't taste bitter at all.
So are you doing the opposite? If you're tasting sour, you should be incorporating sweet?
No, I'm going to be incorporating sour.
Okay, so I need
need
to
a bit
incorporate
of
bitter.
sour.
bitter
And I know
sour.
because my digestion's been bad and I know there's a lack of digestive enzymes.
Mm.
And the enzymes are, they're sour. I need vata. I need to go drink some lemonade and orange juice to create more digestive enzymes. So this is, Ayurveda is so amazing. So in India, we never give encapsulated. We want you to taste. As a conversation starter, you go to any Indian house. So if you open their cupboards, you will find turmeric, curry powder, cinnamon, cardamom, saffron, and you'll usually find Triphala. And it'll be in a powder form. Why did I have it in a powder form today? Because that's how you're supposed to take Triphala traditionally. But because it's too bitter, and then you have to take a spoon, and ideally, the way it's taken is, if you are a vata or you have digestive problem and constipation, then Triphala with a tea, hot tea.
Mixed in the tea?
You can mix it in the tea, or you can take some room temperature water and you can mix Triphala with, take 1 teaspoon, or you can take it with honey. So if
When you drink it as tea, are you supposed to drink the dregs, or do you just drink the water and then let the dregs fall to the bottom?
yeah, just drink the water.
You don't drink it.
Yeah. When you are a pitta,
When you're taking it dry,
you just take a spoon and you take some water over it and you drink the tea. If a pitta is taking it and you have maybe skin issues or liver, then you might, an Ayurvedic practitioner might tell you to take 1 teaspoon Triphala mixed in 1 tablespoon of aloe vera gel. I might ask someone who's doing panchakarma or somebody who's a vata, take Triphala, take 3 teaspoons of Triphala with 2 tablespoons of castor oil. Now that's one big combination of a vata. Get everything. So castor oil and Triphala very, very strong.
Together?
Castor oil, Triphala mix, very strong combination.
So the dry Triphala with the
castor
aloe
oil.
vera
Yeah.
and the castor oil
Yeah.
all mixed together and take it down. And then
So-
drink a glass of tea.
So Triphala, if somebody is very, very dry, like a vata, their internals are very dry. So it doesn't matter how much Triphala they take because they are not digesting anything. So Triphala doesn't get digested. So one way I might give it is, I might mix it in ghee or make a tincture out of it, like an alcoholic tincture. Because the alcohol gets directly absorbed by the tongue and goes directly into the bloodstream. And you don't have to go through the whole route of the stomach. So how I'm giving the triphala depends on the digestive state of the person. Chronic constipation. I might make a triphala tea mixed with dashamula and give them a basti or enema. So how many ways? Or I might snort it. Sour. How you are giving, by which sense? Or someone pitta has red eyes and they have issues with their eyes. Take triphala, make a tea, and then filter the tea out, just the water, and wash your eyes with triphala tea. Redness gone in a few weeks.
Can you do an enema with the triphala?
Yes, we do enema with the triphala. We do enema with the triphala all the time. We may take dashamula, we may take triphala tea, so you can do a lot of. So this is why we, as practitioners, will have the powder, because you can do so many things. So a pitta will need half a teaspoon of triphala a day. Kapha will need 1 teaspoon. Vata will need 3 teaspoons. Dosage also differs. Child, 1/4 teaspoon maybe, especially a constipated child. But you can mix it in the blueberry jam or whatever you give. Very small amounts. So triphala is pretty much, triphala has 3 fruits in it: haritaki, babitaki, and amalaki. So you have astringent, bitter, you have all the taste, sweet, you have all the taste except salty in it, all the 5 flavors. So it's really balancing everything. But what you're giving the triphala with is what differs. So for kapha, I might give it with honey. For vata, I might give it with ghee, because ghee is also super absorbent. Usually you make a tea with triphala and you mix it with ghee till the water evaporates. It's called the triphala dhritam, triphala ghee. And when somebody is vata and you're doing panchakarma for very high, person who is thin vata, needs to gain weight, a lot of ama, a lot of toxins, then you give ghee and triphala. So the ghee, instantly ghee gets absorbed by the tissues, and so in Ayurveda we have something called vehicle. The herbs will not get digested by itself, it needs a medium. A medium can be aloe vera gel, tea, hot water, if nothing else. It can be ghee, it can be a tincture. So triphala is pretty wonderful for digestion. I mean, there's so many other things. A tea, for example, coriander, fennel, cardamom tea, it's a very good digestive. You will drink that tea all the time. Not just when you're doing panchakarma, all the time. But how do you take your triphala is a conversation starter. So yeah, today I if somebody, another starter, oh, you're an Ayurvedic practitioner, I take triphala every day. Triphala equal Ayurveda. That is how famous it is.